Good evening, everybody. Welcome to GH Gospel Radio. It's our pleasure to come to you with our show, Let's Talk Marriage. And as you can already see, tonight I have a special guest. Last week we had Mrs. EFUA Andrews, and tonight we have Pastor Tony Andrews himself. And when you hear the Andrews repeating itself, you know the two of them are related. So if you love Mrs. Andrews, you will love Pastor Tony Andrews even better because he is her better half. We've been talking about physical intimacy, or what we would all refer to as sex, for the past 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks actually. And the last 2 weeks, we talked about healthy sex. Last week, we delved into the challenges that people have in their marriages with physical intimacy. And we focused a lot on the aspects pertaining to women. Tonight, we have Pastor Tony with us, and he is going to delve into the challenges that men face in marriage with physical intimacy. And it is well known that people have challenges in marriage pertaining to sex. And we all know that marriage is the avenue where sex should be had, and it should be the most fulfilling, because the whole purpose of sex is to be for married people. It's not only for procreation, but sex is only legal and is only blessed by God in marriage. So marriage should rather have the best of it. Tonight, Pastor Tony Andrews is here. Let me tell you a little bit about Pastor Tony Andrews. Before I do that, we'll quickly share the link so that anybody else, all our friends and all our audiences can quickly join in, and then we can move forward. So just bear with us for a minute whilst we get the link out there so that all our people will join and we will have a great time together. Yes, before I went to share the link, I was going to tell you about Pastor Tony Andrews, and stay with me. It's exciting. Okay, so Pastor Andrews is a dynamic leader and visionary pastor and a passionate entrepreneur. He's the esteemed founder of Word International Church, a vibrant and youthful ministry based in Moorhead, Minnesota, that is transforming lives through faith and mentorship. He has authored the inspiring book, Is This the Day?, which has touched many lives with this message of purpose and hope. Beyond the pulpit, he's a successful business owner and a restaurateur committed to excellence in every sphere. You can see that I read all this from my notes, right? Because I didn't want to forget any part of it. But let me be honest with you, every single word in there is very, very true. So, Pastor Tony Andrews, you're welcome to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful reception. And me talking to you, it feels like I'm talking to my sister. I mean, and I'm just thinking about the last time we had met at Taibi, and the great time that we had. And I'm also recollecting um, when we came to Dallas and you came over.
I
And
know.
I met you for the first time. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Always a
Oh, thank
pleasure.
you.
So,
Thank you
and
so
I'm
much.
very happy that you invited me here. I feel like it's an honor. Last week you called Sofumami Ekua, and you called me to be on there. So it's a pleasure. So whatever I have to do, I'll do. Whatever I have to say, I'll say. But it's a
Oh,
pleasure. Thank you for
thank
having
you,
me.
thank you. We are so happy to finally have you. We are privileged. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So let's dive right in. Pastor Andrews, what would you say is healthy sex for men? Married men, that is.
What would I say? Healthy sex, as in the number of times you have to do it. As in, what do you mean? Like the question is kind of big.
So let's say there's a couple going to get married next week, right? And they've come to you for counseling, and the man wants to know, I'm new at this. What would be the right way to approach sex? What would I be doing in my sex life with my wife that would be deemed as healthy, that would be deemed as good enough?
I think your line was cutting off just a little bit, but I caught the first part.
Yeah.
If somebody should come to me, young married people come to me and
Mhm,
looking to go into marriage,
mhm,
and they want to know about sex. It's the greatest thing that God could ever have given to anybody. Sex is a beautiful thing. In my own experience, there is something about sex that nobody can put their hand on. So when if you go into marriage without putting emphasis on your sex life and how it's going to be, then you think that you're going to put sex as a secondary thing. It's a major thing. I see people marry for all other reasons but
mm,
sex.
mm,
I see people talk about men or women for all other reasons. Oh, she's a hardworking woman. Oh, she has this degree and she has that and she has that. And the last thing they seem to want to talk about is how attractive they are to you and or how that sexual aspect. And it is a subject that we have to put emphasis on. So I
mm,
would tell any young man it's
mm,
very important. It's very, very important. It's not something that you have to play on or sleep on. It's something
mm,
that you have to. It's sexual compatibility is
mm,
as important as anything.
mm.
Sexual compatibility is as important as financial well-being or physical well-being. It's so important.
Mm. Wow, I am so glad I asked you this question because you said something that really struck me. You said that a lot of Christian couples are going into marriage thinking their partners are hardworking and all their other qualities, but they are not focusing on the sex part. And that is very important. Wow, that was
Yeah,
deep.
I don't know if you've ever been sexually frustrated before,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've been sexually frustrated before. And anybody who's been sexually frustrated will tell you it's
Mm,
not something that you have to play with. So
mm, mm,
sexual compatibility. I
mm,
talk to my church members, I talk to people who are going to go get married, that
mm,
don't play with that.
mm,
Don't play with
mm,
that aspect.
mm,
Don't think that God can fix it. Oh, God, no. It's important. We need to ask questions in that area. We need
mm,
to, it's a need. It's a
mm,
need.
mm.
It's a need.
Sophie, you are very correct. Thank you so much for
It's a
that.
need. It's a
Thank
need.
you, thank you, thank you. So now that we know a little bit of what a healthy sex is, Sister Favor and Sister Elsie, I see you. Thank you for joining. Bring plenty of your questions, and you are welcome. Yeah. So now that you've given us the central theme of what healthy sex is, the fact that it's a need and it's important, and we shouldn't downplay it. Can you tell us some of the challenges that men in particular have with sex in marriage?
You see, a lot of people think, a lot of women think that sex is just having sex, a man and woman coming together. The challenge that most men face, you
Mm,
don't, you don't, the act of sex is not just in that moment that
mm,
you guys are doing it.
mhm,
The whole process of love making, let's use the word love making,
mm,
sex has this thing. The whole
okay,
process of love making
mhm,
is love making.
mhm,
So the frustration is having somebody with a bad attitude all day long
mm,
and then having to make love to the person. at the end of the day, or when it's time for us to make love. So the most challenging thing is people don't know that attitude matters.
How?
Attitude matters. For you to be sexually attractive to somebody, it's not just your physical form.
Mm.
That is, I'm just saying my opinion. Some people might differ, but
Mm-hmm.
for men, you find out people are having difficulties having a good sexual relationship with their wives. And you look
Mm-hmm.
at the woman is beautiful, she has good body, she does everything, she looks good on everybody, people seem to desire her. Everybody apart from the husband. The
Mm-hmm.
reason is, the reason
Mm-hmm.
could be,
Mm-hmm.
it's not always the case, could be attitude.
Mm.
Attitude.
Mm.
So this is the stuff that people don't talk about. The
Mm.
attitude of the person.
Mm.
Love making doesn't occur when it's happening. Love making comes from whatever time you call day till the time it happens. And so if the attitude is not right, the chemistry is not right, the
Mm.
love making becomes a work. And you don't want it to be a work, a chore. You don't want it to be that way. You want it to be, so that is the frustration.
Mm.
That's something that I think most men would talk about. They ask, I've never cheated on my wife, so I don't know why people cheat. But but I've told my wife that your attitude can cause me to cheat. I'm not
Mm.
saying she's a bad person,
Mm-hmm.
but we have great conversation, and I
Mm-hmm.
tell her that I haven't cheated on you,
Mm-hmm.
but my wife is beautiful. And if
Very
anybody
beautiful.
would say that, why would anybody in their normal sense cheat
Mm-hmm.
on a person like that?
Mm-hmm.
But a person's attitude can cause somebody to move from their sexual bed to a place where they feel more comforted, where they feel more accepted, more respected, more, all
Mm.
those things.
Wow. So, Pastor Tony, what you're saying is, even though a lot of people say that, oh, women like to be pampered and giving gifts, men also like to be respected and treated nicely. That's what you're saying.
Yes. It's not men like to be, not men.
Mm-hmm.
Both men and
And
women
women.
have to be treated with respect. You can
Mm,
give gifts, you can give, you
mm,
know when the love making is is a work,
mm, mm,
can you imagine this? Can you imagine, you called me on the show, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So we having a show, right? We
Yes.
talking to the people. But
Yeah.
before this show, I've been abusing you.
Mm, mm, mm,
I've been talking anyhow to you. I just disrespected you. I just
mm,
said something mean to you, and then I come up here and I'm,
mm,
hey doctor, how's it going?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's no love in it.
Yeah.
There is nothing to it. So for most men,
Mm,
they want their affirmation, their
mm,
respect,
mm,
their those things,
mm-hmm.
even before the act.
Wow. Mm,
For most men,
mm-hmm,
they desire to be honored.
mm,
Not, I'm not talking about the submission thing. I'm talking
mm,
about honored, respected,
mm,
even before the act.
mm,
For most men,
mm,
so that's how it is.
mm-hmm,
That's how it is.
mm. Wow, I'm taking notes. And Sister Anna, I see you. You're welcome. Mami Nikwe, you're welcome as well. Thank you for your comments and keep your questions coming. Tonight is a good opportunity for us wives to learn all the secrets because we have wonderful Pastor Tony Andrews here. He will give us all the secrets. He will give us the answers to whatever we need to know. So if you have a question you've wanted to ask the men, tonight is your opportunity. Don't hold back, just ask. I'm taking notes. I hope you are too. So, Pastor Tony, moving on. we have said I have heard so many times that men never say no to sex. It's not something that I believe. That has not been my experience, but you are the man. So let me ask you, is it true that men never say no to sex, especially married men?
Let's who will say no to a good thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you know the way sex is nice,
Mm-hmm.
and you know that the way it is, if I can use, literal translation, sweet,
Mm-hmm.
why would you say no?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are full,
Mm-hmm.
you want to, even if you are full, you would want to still, nibble on something. It's food is food, you would want
Yeah.
to nibble on something.
Yeah.
Um, I think the thing that they say men would never refuse sex.
Mm-hmm.
If a man doesn't desire you, they
Mm-hmm.
will refuse you.
Mm-hmm.
If a man doesn't desire you, they'll refuse you. Men will not refuse anyone they desire.
Mm-hmm.
If a man doesn't desire you,
Mm-hmm.
they will refuse you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a young person and your sexual drive is high, everything everything goes for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to a certain age, you are selective in the things that comes your way.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in your marriage, I haven't refused my wife anytime. I mean, if she asks me, I'll, even if I'm sick, I'll try my best. I'll
Mm-hmm.
try, even if I'm sick. I haven't. I mean, I feel like it's disrespectful to deny somebody when they ask you for a thing. That's the problem with a lot of women when they don't know that rejection, it's
Mm-hmm.
when you reject a person, it has a psychological effect on the person. So me knowing that my wife, anytime she asks, "Oh, already me, I want to do it. So when you ask me, I'll give it. I mean, like, even if I'm sick, I'll try my best. I try my best. And
Yeah.
but it's not true that men will not like they will always say yes to sexual advances. No, it's not true. We are just like you guys,
Mm-hmm.
except that we are more expressive when it comes to sex. And our culture, our culture women were made to suppress their sexual desires, and so they were not able to come out and say that they need it as much as men will say it.
Mm-hmm.
So we realize that in our marriages, for the most part, it's
Mm-hmm.
men that initiate this stuff. That is
Yeah.
why every time they say men will not say no. But
Mm-hmm.
a man will say no to somebody they don't desire.
Mm-hmm.
If if and we've had times where me and my wife are not really on good terms, and
Mm-hmm.
where I don't want to be around her. So
Mm-hmm.
in those situations, it's gonna be like that. I would stay around. I'll stay away. But it's not
Mm-hmm.
true that men would always they would never say no. No, that's not true.
Mm-hmm. I feel good now. Thank you for that because I don't know where that thing came from. Men are humans too. Sometimes they are tired, sometimes they are stressed out. It's true that many men have a higher, as Tony said it all. I don't need to repeat it. Thank you so much for that clarification. Yeah, Pastor Tony, for women, we are aware that having nice lingerie, personal hygiene, perfumes, candles, chocolates, whipped cream, and the like enhances the sex life. What would you say would enhance desire for men, married men? What are some of the things that help you get in the mood? For women, we know the lingerie, the chocolates, and stuff. For the men, what helps?
Everything you mentioned works. I don't know about the whipped cream and stuff. The other day, me, me and woman of God were talking about my wife. Were talking about
Mhm,
this whipped cream and stuff. I,
mhm.
I, 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 I haven't ventured there yet.
Oh,
Everything that you mentioned, everything you mentioned, would help. But you see, For the biggest frustration of men
Mm-hmm.
dealing with African women, I don't know what your audience are.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest frustration is
Mm-hmm.
having to always be the one to initiate sex. Men, what is what I will say is very attractive is a woman initiating the need for
Oh,
sex.
wow.
It's a beautiful thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially coming from where we are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife, you know, you sitting, we want to do something. America is stressful. I live in America. I don't know where your audiences are listening me from.
Mm-hmm.
America is stressful. You go to work, you're tired, bills, kids, all of that. You
Mm-hmm.
come home, you are naturally tired. But
Mm-hmm.
imagine that you before I come home, there
Mm-hmm.
are signs. I pastor young people, right? I pastor very young groups of people. They have a thing that they do on Snapchat. They call it streaking. And
Mm-hmm.
this streaking thing that they do, they have their boyfriends and they have a way of hooking these boyfriends onto them. They will
Wow.
send pictures of their shoulder, nothing vulgar, but
Mm-hmm.
a bead they are wearing. They take a picture of their bead all
Mm,
through the day,
mm,
all
mm,
through the day, all through the day. You are, you are setting the mood right all through the day. But you
mm,
see, in our culture, when a woman does these things, what do we say?
mm,
They are spoiled. They
mm,
are they are- these are some of the things that's lacking in our marriages. I'm
mm,
tired of me initiating all the time.
mm, mm,
I'm tired of me being the person to start this
mm,
thing all the time. If
mm,
you can start, that's
mm,
so good. If you
mm,
can initiate, that's so nice. If you
mm,
can set the pace, that's
mm,
amazing. If
mm.
you can, let's get over this notion that it's always the men who are in need of it. Women need it as much as men.
Ow, ow. So to say it again, no, the women
Yeah,
stop pretending, no, women
the
also
pretension
want
is too much. The pretension is too much. Like
mm,
we pretend too much, and especially in a church setting, the
mm,
church folks, the
mm,
pretense is too much. And check this out, doctor. The thing
mhm,
about this church folks is this, and this is what I've thought about this for a long time. Why do our husbands, the
mhm,
men, why
mhm,
do they leave and go cheat on their wives?
mm,
There is something that I've noticed about the church folks.
mhm,
As soon as they get married,
mm,
right?
mhm,
Especially to church people,
mhm,
there is a belief that the man is never going to cheat. There is a
mhm,
belief that the man is not going nowhere.
mm,
The things that they did before they got married, they stop doing.
mm,
Suddenly they become wives.
mm,
Side chicks, they are
mhm.
ready to do everything. The
You
side
do that,
chicks
please.
The side chicks are sending pictures. The side
Mhm,
chicks are looking sexy. The
mhm,
side chicks are not ever tired. The side
mm,
chicks are initiating things. The
mm,
side chicks are putting thoughts and ideas in this man's head.
mhm,
Stop. The moment we get married, we stop being side chicks.
mhm,
Maintain you being a side chick. So when
mhm,
your husband was chasing you, you was just a chick.
mhm,
Maintain that attitude in that marriage.
mhm,
Maintain that I want to please this guy. I want this guy to think about me. This
mhm,
is what I feel that our
mhm,
wives are
mhm,
missing in the
mhm,
marriage.
mhm,
This is what I feel that we are missing in our current marriage, because suddenly you are a wife, suddenly I don't care anymore. My husband is, especially to Christian men, because they know the Christian man is not cheating, they know the
mhm,
Christian man is not going anywhere,
mhm.
especially to them.
I also for mommy brought something. She said the side chicks are not cooking, they are not cleaning, so they have all the time to prepare for the men.
I do understand the side chicks don't clean, the side chicks, but they are out there.
Mm-hmm.
They are competing with you. The eyes of your husband is going and looking at everything. It does not matter what was the reason. They don't care whether you have been cooking. What I'm saying is this: in as much as you are thinking that, oh, the site is, I am right to not want to do anything because the whole day I'm tired. It does not matter. The eyes of your husband is out there. Somebody is getting his attention. So make sure that you are the same
In your
energy you're
back.
doing, the same energy that you put in when you were doing the courting, put in the same energy. In our marriage, I can cook if I want to. My wife would not allow me to cook. We have a restaurant, so but if I have to cook, I'll cook. We have 6 children. I took care of them more than my wife took care of them. My wife just pushed them out, and I do the rest. So I took care of them as much as so. The old married set type that a woman does all the cooking. The man must also cook. The man must also do certain things so
So
that
thank you for that.
the burden. We are both not too tired.
Mm-hmm.
We are both not too tired, so that we can be able to have time to do things.
Mm-hmm. 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 And Sister Anna says, why are some African husbands not romantic? We know that a lot of African husbands, they see romance as it's a waste of time, it's unnecessary. Many of them would just like to go to business and be done and walk away. Also, for please teach us some tips. Sister Maggie says, someone who wants to cheat will always cheat, even if you do your best. Sister Maggie, I know that is true, but sometimes there's okay, I'll let Osofo handle that one. After
Yeah,
handles why.
cheating is an attitude.
Mm,
But cheating is an attitude. It's a habit that
mhm,
um, once you pick it up, it's hard to once you do what once you step outside your marriage,
mm,
you do it once. It's hard for you to
stop.
change.
Mm,
Cheating is a habit. The
mm,
reason I haven't cheated on my wife
mhm,
is that I wasn't too much of a church person.
mhm,
I wouldn't call myself a church person.
mhm,
I know how it feels like to be cheated on, and I
mm,
know the pain that comes out of you being cheated on.
mm,
When it's not like having seen attractive people, it's not like having seen people. It's not like my marriage has been so perfect that I haven't considered looking at somebody else. No, I have had times, especially the early part of our marriage, the first 5, 10 years of our marriage. It
mhm,
was it was crazy. But
mhm,
but the truth was, when I consider the pain
mm,
of of the other person, it stops me.
mm,
To Sister Maggie's question, a
mhm,
person who will cheat will always cheat, and it's a fact.
mhm,
But then don't give him a reason to cheat.
mhm.
Make it nearly impossible for
Possible.
him
Mm,
to cheat.
mm, mm,
Make it nearly impossible for him to
mm,
cheat.
mhm,
All I'm saying is that we need to be aware
mhm,
that if your husband is fine,
mm,
there are other people watching, looking at him. If
mhm,
your husband is hardworking, there are
mhm.
other people, even if he's a nobody, there's something out there that just wants to destroy marriages. Even
True.
if he's a nobody, there is somebody watching, wanting that what you have is broken.
Mm,
Make it impossible for him to cheat. When I
mm,
first came to America, doctor, I'll tell you this and I'll answer the romantic question. When I first came to America, I
mhm,
was living with some African Americans. I
mhm,
was living with this lady, say, let's call her Pam. And so I
mhm,
was talking to Pam. And then
mhm,
I asked Pam, hey, how you guys doing? I mean, we're talking, and I don't know how we veered into this subject of relationship and the
mhm,
differences between Africans and African Americans. She said
mhm,
something to me that was profound, and I told my wife. She
mhm,
said this. She said this. Even if I go have a child,
mm,
and I come out from maybe C-section, I know my husband needs sex. Listen to this one. I said, but I said, in our culture, when a person goes to go give birth, at least 6 months before you are even allowed to go around your husband. This is what she said. Said, there's so many ways you can make love to your husband. You can do by hand, by mouth, by legs. It's so many other ways. He said, why? He said, so that he doesn't go anywhere else. Because as soon as he finds an alternative to you, he's not coming back. So men definitely will cheat. Men have the tendency to cheat. If given a chance, left to me alone, with no protection from my wife, I can cheat. It's possible. It's possible. Men can cheat, but don't make it easy for them to cheat. That's all. Then there's a question about why are some African husbands?
Yes, and before we continue, Ajwa Ejewa, thank you so much for joining. I see you. I see your comments. We appreciate you being here. And our anniversary follower, our number one fan, Mr. Baini, you're welcome. Yes, the other question was that why is it so difficult for African men to be romantic? That was the question. Yes, why are some African husbands not romantic? And whilst you're on the topic, please teach the African men some of the ways in which they can be romantic, because we need it. We all need it.
I think I'm the wrong person to ask, because my wife and my kids are chasing. I'm not romantic. What? Because African men are raised not to show any type of emotions. It's like a sign of weakness when you show that soft side of yourself. They see romance as being too feminine. That was just the way we were raised. But now we are in a new dispensation. So what you don't do for your wife, one foolish person will do for your wife. One foolish person. I'm speaking to all men. What you don't do for your wife. No, a rose, just a rose can make your wife have second thoughts about you. So I learned when my wife told me that I'm not romantic. I said, okay, I hear you. I'm not romantic. Then I started buying flowers. I bought flowers and did all kinds of romantic things. And she said, like, you know what? I'm tired. It's enough. I said, but it's because we learn, we watch, we learn from our parents. We watch them. Our parents were not. Our parents were providers. So most African men think their romance is by provision. So when you tell them that you are not romantic, but then they'll go like, but I pay the bills. But I bought a car for you. But I took care of the school fees. So it's just the way we were brought up. But now there's a generation that are coming up who are romantic. When we begin to talk about these things, we'll help them. But most African men, they are not romantic. Hey, that's true. Nas, I see you. It's not a good part of our culture. We don't know how to do it. We know how to provide. We know how to work. We know how to maintain a job. We know how to put food on the table. But we never had role models to show us how to be romantic.
Well, Sister Maggie came back. She says, so when we have a reason to cheat, is it right to go out and cheat because we have a reason to cheat? And Sister Maggie, Pastor already said that make it hard for your husband to cheat, but that does not mean they can cheat. But also, maybe you want to add something to that.
It's just a matter of, again, it's a cultural thing.
Mm,
It's a cultural thing. If your husband goes to cheat on you, and you
mhm,
send it to your church elders, or you
mhm,
send it to even your own parent, or
mhm,
even your own parent, the ones who love you, and
mhm,
you tell them my husband cheated on you,
mhm,
they'll frown on it and go like, oh, but he didn't do anything. At least he came back home. That's
mm,
our culture.
mm,
Cheating is so. Listen, somebody asked me in church about 3 weeks, I think 3, 4 weeks ago, Pastor,
mhm,
is it okay for somebody to cheat? I
mm,
said, if your husband cheats on you,
mhm,
leave him.
mm,
Leave him.
mhm,
That's what I said. Leave
mhm,
him.
mhm,
If I should cheat on my wife
mhm,
should leave me.
mm,
If my wife is pushing me to the point where I want to cheat, ask my
mhm,
wife, EFUA. I talk. I will
mm,
say, EFUA, you are pushing me.
mhm,
EFUA, what you're doing, I don't like. And
mm,
communication.
mm,
But cheating is hurtful.
mhm,
Nobody ever gets
mm,
over cheating.
mm,
I play a lot. I have
mhm,
fun a lot at church. But all
mhm,
my church members know I will always mention a few people in the past. This is about 30 years ago. Some girls, what they did to me, I still remember. Cheating is hurtful.
mm,
To be cheated on, I
mm,
don't wish it for anybody.
mm,
To be cheated on, I
mhm,
don't wish it for anybody.
mm,
So even if you feel like cheating,
mhm,
don't cheat.
mm.
Don't. Or if you're gonna cheat, make sure you are not found out. That's all.
Yeah. Sister Maggie, I hope your question is answered. Osofo says, no matter what, don't cheat. Talk. Communicate with your partner. Find a way to solve whatever is making you thinking of cheating. But just don't get up and go cheat. He's making that really clear. And he's also mentioned that it's our society. The society, our African society, sort of. You see, some people are even coming up who are saying that as for men, they all cheat. So it's more like it's acceptable in a way. But like Osofo said, things are changing. I know women will be so mad if you say cheating is okay. No, we never said that. Osofo never said that. And I hope your question is answered. And Nas made a comment. He said, African men, yes, Nostradamus. Wow, your name is a mouthful. He said, African men are not romantic, mostly because it's not part of our culture. Yes, exactly what Osofo said. Yes, Susanna says African men have to learn, especially if you ask them over and over, because that could lead to separation. Also, please advise African men. How can they? What should be their attitude when their wives come up to them and tell them they are not being romantic or they need more romance?
If you value the relationship, I mean, you will take. If you value the relationship, you will not play with that. You will
Mm,
not. I thought I was a good person. I would say it all day long. So this is what I was doing. This is what I
mm,
was doing. Um, I think this is about a year ago. My wife would say, and a
mm,
few daughters that I have, they will say that my wife will come to me and say, "You are not romantic. You are not romantic." Then I will say, "But I haven't cheated on you. But I
mhm,
haven't cheated on you. But I am always there. I'm always there." And my wife said, "It's beyond just not cheating on me. You know, you have to, you have to do something. You have to. I mean, as a man, listen, the cost of having to build a relationship with something. No marriage is easy.
mhm,
Marriage is difficult.
mhm,
Marriage is difficult. Marriage is not easy. They didn't tell us the truth. Marriage
mhm,
is not easy. It's very difficult.
mhm,
And so you've built a relationship over a long time. The cost of having to go start again
mm,
if you lose this one. So
mhm.
just listen to your wife and let your wife listen also to you. and then find out what makes. My wife said that she wants flowers. I said, okay, if you want flowers, good. I'll just want. She says she's a flower person, but I don't see no flower in our house. But I said, okay, if you say you are a flower person, I'm going to do flowers. If you say you are a perfume person, I'm going to do perfume thing. But the thing is this. They just want public display of affection. That's what African men don't do. We don't do those that public display of affection. Showing that you love your wife. That's what women want. Pampering them. They don't want anything else. Appreciating them, respecting them. Um, you know, I mean, my movie interest is not what my wife likes. The music I listen to is not what my wife likes. But I found our common area, and then we work in those things. If you make the effort and it doesn't even meet their standards, they will know that you are making the effort.
Exactly.
But if you say I'm African and I can't be romantic, it's wrong. Before you know, your wife has left you but still staying with you. There's a lot of people who are in a relationship, but they are not there. There are people who are
The
making
mind
love.
is gone. It's just the body sitting there.
There are people who are making love to their husbands, but their minds it's on their schoolmate at a disco. That's who they are thinking of. It's become a chore for them. There are people who are with their wives, but they are not with their wives, and especially with church folks. So you listen. Marriage is communication. You listen. As men, we need to bend, change our approach. I was telling woman of God the other day, I said, when I'm home in the morning, I'm going to go do morning prayer. I have a morning podcast I do. I put on perfume. I brush my hair. I put as if I'm going somewhere. Why would I smell for church members? Smell good for church members when I can't smell good for my wife? I put on I do the best thing. I happened when I was a young person. Hear this story. When I was a young person, very young, I was always with my mom. And so one day I heard my mom talking to a friend, and they were talking about a guy that one of her friends had gone to see. And they were talking about how, ah, Mr. Kuju, his singlet and pants, they are always on point. And I was listening. I remember the way you look, the way you smell as a man, try and make it seem to your wife that I am trying to make myself appealing to you. I haven't taken you for granted. I haven't taken you. That's all part of the romance.
Wow. Wow. And you see, whilst we were speaking, the comments were just flashing up and down. It's like so many wives are thinking that African husbands are not romantic. They want the African husbands to learn more. But ladies, hold your horses. Tonight is for the men. We're talking about the men. Hold your horses. Pastor already spoke for you. He said that African men, please be open to listening to your wife. Sometimes some men think that, oh, when they were in school, these were the things that were deemed romantic. So that's what they are going to do. Everybody is different. Every wife is different. So go talk to your wife. Pastor already said it. Said communicate with your wife. Know what she likes and also observe her. Try to study her. Find out the things she likes and do it for her in particular, because that is where you get the biggest response. And we all know there's this book out called The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Go look it up, find out what your wife's love language is, because the women are going all out. They're hitting hard. They said African men be more romantic. Sopho has told the men no. But today we're talking about, we're focusing on the men's perspective. So women, hold your horses. Sister Anna says, why would a husband use sex as a way to hold on to the marriage? I'm not sure I understand. Also, do you have any idea what she's talking about?
Yes, I was looking at the question. I couldn't I like they will use sex as the reason to stay in the marriage. Is that the
Yes.
question?
Well,
So
Sister Anna, if you can reframe your question, is it that the men will use the sex as a reason to stay, or they'll give sex just to hold on? We're trying to understand the question. If you can
Why
read,
would a husband use sex as a way to hold on to
hold
the
on
man?
to the marriage. Yeah, I don't know what it means either. But
Yeah.
Nas made a comment. Nas Nostradamus. He was talking about it's a lot of work to be romantic. You have to be intentional. You have to plan. Some men just don't like all that extra work, but it's important. I have a feeling Nas is a man, so he's speaking to
Oh,
men.
Nas, I know Nas. He's a man. I know Nas. He's
So
yeah.
now, men, Nas has spoken to you all. Please take it in good faith. Take the notes. Be intentional. Do it.
Like so. If so, why
Okay.
would the husband use sex as a way of to hold on to the marriage?
Yeah,
Like
and
if
it's
you
like you're going to leave. It's like if you're trying to leave, then they use sex to pull you back in. That's what I'm getting right now from what she added.
that you won't have anybody to give you sex.
Like they are giving you sex just so you will stay. They are using sex as a tool to hold you on to
So that's the problem. That's a major problem. This
the
is major. This is so major, especially, and it's I'm amazed that this is coming from a woman.
mm,
Um, in our culture, our women were raised to think that the weaponized sex.
mm,
So so that's the weapon. Like women marry and they were like, when a man is after them, chasing after them, they will use sex as a weapon and all of that. And but I didn't know that men can also do it because me, as I said, I'm always ready. So I won't. This is not something that I use as a weapon.
mm,
Like, but I wouldn't know that if you get to the point where your husband is using sex as a weapon, then the
mm,
relationship needs visiting. You need counseling because
mm,
it's wrong.
mhm,
It's wrong.
mhm,
Even on the biblical sense,
mm,
when we come into the Christian home, Apostle
mhm,
Paul said, we
mhm,
should not deny each other sex.
mm,
We should not. We
mhm,
should not. It's wrong on all levels.
mhm.
These days, can I be frank and speak frankly?
Please be, please do.
These days, there are a
Mhm,
lot of cheap women out there.
mm,
What we used to do to get a woman to be in bed with when
mm,
we're growing up, you don't have to do it all this time.
mm, 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 mm. So true.
And so it's made the value of women, good women.
Mm, mm,
People tend to think that every woman is a woman. No, sex, no. Because of cheap sex out there,
mhm,
your husband is going to treat you like a nobody. I mean, if you're a woman, you have to know your worth
mhm,
and not allow. Sex should never be weaponized.
mm,
Sex should never be weaponized. It
mhm,
should never be. It shouldn't. It should be something that has to be done in love,
mm,
done out of love,
mhm,
done for the sake of the other. So
mm,
I'm doing it for the sake of my wife. My wife is doing it for the sake of me.
mm,
I'm in partnership. I'm
mm,
looking to please my wife. My wife is looking to please me.
mm.
It should be any man that uses sex as a weapon, like I want to leave, and I don't know. I still the question I still don't understand that you want to leave, and they will tell you that if you leave, you're not going to get sex anyway. I don't know what that question means.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
still don't know. I still don't really. I wish I could speak to her, but it's wrong. Whatever that it is, it's wrong. Nobody should do that.
Mm,
We men love sex.
mhm,
I can have sex
mhm,
um, uh, as much as you give me.
mhm.
Any man that tells you that they don't like sex, they are lying.
Mm.
truth.
Mm.
That means they have a medical condition.
Mm.
That means that something is not wired right.
Mhm.
That means that they are married to somebody they are not physically attracted to.
Mhm.
For me personally, and for most men, if
Mhm.
you give it to them 5 times in a day, they will take it.
Mhm.
Even if they are tired,
Mm.
they will still take it. I know men.
Mhm.
I know men.
Mm.
When if when woman of God said not all men are sexually sexual, when
Mhm.
a man is not sexually active, he
Mhm.
needs help.
Mm.
He needs help.
Mhm. Mhm.
He needs help.
Yeah, so
Then
mommy just said it. She said, "Not all men are sexually sexual."
so, so the thing is that we don't talk about sex enough. When
Mm.
you talk about sex,
Mhm.
when you I remember when I was married, the initial stages of our marriage, my
Mhm.
wife said, "You always want sex."
Mhm.
That the thing is this, the thing was, I don't go anywhere. I
Mhm.
don't have any side chick,
Mhm.
a lot of energy, and you are beautiful.
Let me enjoy my due.
Oh, okay. So you want so the woman, the Hannah, your friend Hannah said you want to leave your marriage because
Mhm.
of no intimacy, but
Mhm.
then your husband wants you to make a turn around and
So
start
he wants to make a turnaround and start.
to change your mind.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hmm.
So what she's saying is like the example that she's giving is like the man is not giving the wife enough sex. And then when the woman gets tired and she's like, now I'm leaving, then the man wants to change and be like, okay, now you can have sex. You can have enough sex. Just so you won't leave, you will stay.
It's crazy. It's
Uh,
crazy.
uh-huh,
It's to be doctor to be
uh,
sexually frustrated.
uh.
It's a disease.
Ow, ow. It's a sad disease.
You can't eat.
Mm,
You can't think straight.
mm,
Especially when you know that this is the person that I know I can have this thing with.
mm-hmm,
So I talk.
mm-hmm,
I talk.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of God said, why were they denying sex in the first place? Because the person has caused a person to be frustrated.
Mm,
It could be a lot of reasons.
yeah, to punish, so to speak.
It could be a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm,
One of the things that our as men,
mm-hmm,
one of the things as men that we do is that our ego will not make us tell you that we need help.
mm, mm,
Let me tell you something. That's the truth.
mm-hmm,
The energy you have
mm-hmm,
when you are in your teens,
mm-hmm,
in your 20s,
mm-hmm,
in your 30s, when you hit your 40s, you peak around your mid 40s,
mm-hmm,
your energy levels begin to drop. Some
mm,
men you will think that it's deliberate,
mm,
but it's not deliberate.
mm-hmm,
Maybe they need help. They don't
mm,
have the desire like they used to have.
mm-hmm, mm,
But women as they age,
mm-hmm,
as women age,
mm-hmm,
higher their desire level. That
mm,
is why, as a man, you need to. If we are in a modern world, there are
mm-hmm,
so many things you can do to enhance this whole process.
mm-hmm,
There are so many things. So I
mm-hmm.
don't know. We cannot jump to conclusion and say that the man was punishing the husband. Maybe the man did not have the desire like they used to have.
Okay, okay,
We
okay.
cannot say that. And men are ego, prideful when it
Mm,
comes to sex. It's like sexual weakness is not tolerated. So The
Mm,
kind of one who doesn't want to come out to say that they are weak.
mm, mm,
So it will make it seem like, oh, I don't like sex anymore. I have other things to think about. There is an issue.
So they're just trying to cover up.
There is an issue.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow, this has been so good. We only have like 4 minutes left, but I have this question that I really, really wanted to ask you. So in this era, there's Brazilian butt lifts like plastic surgery for older women to keep their youthful shape, to get a flat tummy back after having 4 kids, 5 kids, and to just shape the body nicely, put the fat somewhere else, and all those kind of things. There's even mommy makeover. It's been around for a long time. So it's something that older women are making all the effort they can just to look good. Many of them do it for themselves so that they can feel good in the body they are in. And some of them also do it because they don't want to lose their attractiveness. I want to see what the men's perspective is. What do you think of women changing their bodies? And I'm speaking for those that do that so their men will still be attracted to them. I'm not speaking for those who are doing it for themselves because they like to, because they want it. The men, it's the women that are going under the knife doing plastic surgery to look good or to look better, because there's some stomach fat that exercise won't take away. There's some skin sagginess that exercise won't take away. It's only surgery that can make it look as good as before you had children. So for what's your take? Should women be doing these things so that they remain attractive to the men? Their
If I
heart.
have if I have a chipped tooth
Mm-hmm.
and I go to fix it and my
Mm-hmm.
smile is better, would you like it?
Yes.
So if your breast that used to be firm after
Mm-hmm.
4 children, 6 children is sagging and you
Mm-hmm.
don't look like the person that you used to be, and
Mm-hmm.
they can do a medically safe procedure,
Mm-hmm.
is it worth doing?
Audit. Yeah. Yeah.
If you are balding
Mm-hmm.
and you feel like I need to do hair transplant
Mm-hmm.
to look good,
Mm.
to bring my confidence level, because if you don't look good, you are not confident.
True.
Is it wrong? I don't see anything wrong with that if it's medically safe. I think last year, 2 years ago, a woman of God was going through midlife crisis. So she was always looking at these things, wanting to do those things. I didn't have any problem with that. Let me
Mm.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
These men who go like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who make love to porn stars,
Mm.
images,
Mm.
men. They are the ones who find people with fake body.
Mm. Mm.
They will
Wow.
tell their wives that, nah. But then their ideal person that they are looking on their websites,
Mm-hmm.
body made.
Mm-hmm.
If it's medically safe,
Mm-hmm.
if it's medically safe,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not doing it for anybody, but to bring your confidence level back,
Mm.
it's not even healthy for you. Why
Mm.
not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? I don't know if you've ever had a problem with your body before, physical thing, that
Mm.
it takes away your confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, if it's medically safe, the
Mm-hmm.
same husband, but it has to be in agreement with your husband.
Mm.
But you first have to do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
People have died in their marriages.
Mm.
Your husband would prefer that nobody looks at you apart from him. So he doesn't mind you looking ugly. He doesn't mind you looking ugly. So long as you're ugly and you are all for him,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So your husband will say, "You're okay with the way you are.
Oh.
You are okay the way you are." If it's
Mm-hmm.
medically safe,
Mm-hmm.
that is why, and I'll say this to end this.
Mm-hmm.
If you are there and you want to upgrade yourself, what
Mm-hmm.
do? You want to find a better job. You go out there, you do new certification and
Mm-hmm.
you do all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So as a person, go to the gym, hit the gym, and then if it's medically safe and if you can do it right, if it's
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Mm. Yeah, I just saw that Sister Anna said, God bless you both. Thank you very much. And then she agrees to the answer that you gave to her question. So obviously, you really were able to answer her question fully. And Nostradamus says, most men love to see their women stay sexy all the time. So there is that. But generally, I feel a lot of men could care less. Yeah. And for me, whenever a man is being like, "Oh, your stomach looks bad," I'd be like, "Yeah, you also have a pot belly. You too, your hair is your hair is bald. So let's all enjoy each other like that." Growing old setting, but like I said, if it's medically safe, why not? You two look good, sir. Why not? Why not? It's been absolutely delightful having you, Osofo. Thank you for releasing your wealth of information and truth on us. But before we go, if there's anything that you would want to tell us that you haven't already said, please go ahead.
I will say to the men and the women listening to say
Mm,
this into their husbands.
mhm,
Let's be deliberate and intentional in our relationship. And let us break out. If you're African, coming from African descent, let us break out from the norms that we were brought up on. It's okay for a man to be romantic. It's okay for a man to be vulnerable. It's okay. It doesn't make you less of a man. It's okay to show your vulnerabilities. It's okay to say that I'm hurt. Men don't say these things. That's all that I'm going to say.
Oh, thank you so much, Osofo. Thank you. God richly bless you.
Amen.
And Sofumami said something that the men
To
should
play.
pledge to be romantic. It looks like tonight the women are up in arms. They want the African husbands to be more romantic. So if you're African and you're listening, go talk to your wife. How can I be more romantic? And take a cue from Osofo. He said he went to his wife and said, how can I be more romantic? And he did it to the extent that the
Yes.
wife was like, I'm tired. It's okay. It's enough. Now I see that you are romantic. And Nostradamus said, Amen, Pastor. And he says he missed listening to your wisdom. Nostradamus, I know you're reconnected now. Go find your pastor and you would
Yeah, we
hear
are in
from.
town. We live. I can find him anytime I want.
All
He's right here. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, listeners, for being here. You made the discussion very interesting with all your comments and your questions. God bless you. And for another dose of good talk on marriage, join us same time next week, 6 p.m. Central Time on GH Gospel Radio. And here on GH Gospel Radio, we always say that it takes a good Christian to have a good Christian marriage. God bless you. Goodbye.